Let's talk about those numbers, which top line look very impressive indeed. But when you dig deep into it, you did have to do quite a bit of cost cutting, particularly also benefiting from your finance costs down more than 92%.
Indeed, yeah. Look, Godfrey, on the top line, an 11% growth, which we did in fact manage to hold down to the operating profit line with a 12% growth. But certainly, look, the majority of the upside came through improved working capital during the period, and yes, it came through very strongly.
So people, I guess one of the key questions that they'll be asking is just how sustainable this is going forward. Are we then likely to see Samia from here getting into a position of strength, particularly given the fact that we do know that imports still remain a constant threat?
Yes, Godfrey, it is a concern. The flood of cheap Chinese tyres into the East African market is a major concern. From our side, we're very bullish on the future. We see four potential areas of growth. One is the truck and bus sector, where we're not well represented. In fact, the truck and bus sector is 40% of the market, and I think our representation there is about 1%. Also, the second thing is what has happened recently is the export markets have really opened up for us in recent times. So we're moving very aggressively into that sector. And then the third side is that we do see a lot of opportunity. We do have a retail subsidiary, a retail arm, and we're certainly seeing a lot of opportunity there. So moving forward, look, we have a robust strategic plan, and we're implementing it.
It sounds like, Allan, you're not giving up at all. You're still talking about growth, so perhaps this is not the sunset time for the tyre industry in East Africa. But let's talk about those export markets. What exactly are you looking at?
We currently export to nine countries. But what we have done is we've revised our pricing very aggressively. What we're really looking at is throughput through the factory, because it has, on an overhead absorption basis, it has a dramatic impact. The more rubber we can put through our factory, the more competitive we can be at the retail end.
Now, let's talk about some of the detail in those numbers. As I said, I was looking at your finance cost down 92%, but I looked also at your other operating income. That was up an impressive 56%, therefore helping to more than double that total comprehensive income line for the 9 months. So when you look at those two sets of numbers, are you able to repeat those going into the next quarter?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Godfrey, let me also just come back to a point that you raised earlier on about not giving up.
Yeah.
You see, the problem is if we continue with this thrust or this fixation on importing cheap alternatives, well, you know, all we're doing is effectively exporting our jobs and mortgaging the future.
Yeah.
So we are wholly committed to local manufacture and actually growing our throughput.
What do you need, Allan, to be able to make sure that you continue operating as you have been doing, and also, of course, creating jobs for the locals? Let's say it, from the government, from the regulators, what do you need? Just say it.
You know, it's easy to point fingers, Godfrey. It's easy to say, look, we need somebody to do this or somebody to do that. But at the end of the day, innovation, reaction times, etc., that's all in our court, and that we are taking care of.
Yeah.
I guess from government, I think what we would be looking for is greater control, better legislation to ensure that the tyres that do come into this country are in fact safe for use.
Yeah. So from the government side, you probably protection might be something that might help you. But as a company, though, on your own, when you look into 2013, what kind of prospects do you see? And I'm hoping you'll be able to give us some kind of guidance in terms of the earnings that you expect going forward. I mean, obviously, doubling the earnings is not going to be possible this time around, right?
Doubling what, sorry, Godfrey?
Doubling earnings at the basic income level.
No. I think it certainly won't. The rate of growth moving forward won't be as dramatic as this. No, but I think what we will see is very robust. Growth, both at the turnover line and at the operating profit line. No, we as I said, we are quietly optimistic.
Are you able to give us some kind of guidance, double digit, or is that perhaps closer to the up teens?
I would certainly be a devil and say it would be in the double digits.
It will be in the double digits.